Hi there! So if you're here, that means you are waiting for part 3 of ranking every RuPaul's Drag Race lip sync, which means we're on season 3. And I did not realise how many lip syncs there are in season 3. I think there's 13 in total, just off the top of my head, which is way more than any other Drag Race season. And for that reason, I feel like some of the rankings I did that are kind of like middle of the road, that didn't stick out as really bad or really good, might be a little controversial. Now, this video has taken me so long to make because there's so many lip syncs, and also my schedule's been kind of messed up. So I know I said in the first video I was hoping to upload every Monday and Friday, but it's looking like it's just going to be once a week. I advertise on my social media just before I'm about to upload the video, but there's no set schedule just yet because of work and family stuff and Miss COVID, you know, messing things up. But without any further ado, let's get into it. So starting off the list in 13th place, we have episode 2, The Queen Who Mopped Christmas, which is Shangela versus Venus Delight to The Right Stuff by Vanessa Williams. This lip sync is kinda iconic for how messy it is, but I put it in last just because of how unprofessional the queens were acting. I mean, I get that Shangela was doing what she was supposed to be doing, which is, you know, dancing and lip syncing, but then Venus took it to a new extreme and started pushing her and shoving her and following her around the stage just to push Shangela. And the lip sync, I mean, it starts off fine, but then it quickly escalates into a complete and utter mess. You know, Shangela's lampshade dress ends up wrapped around her throat, and Venus's wig ends up being thrown at the other contestants, and it's just unprofessional, it's messy, and it's the worst lip sync of season 3, and possibly one of the worst of all time just because of how unprofessional it is. And that's not drag, that's, I don't know, WWE or something, I don't know. And I had to choose a best part for this, and to be honest, I think it's just the moment where Shangela kicks her shoe off and it goes flying. It's just a brief moment and it's not really talked about, but I just found it quite amusing watching it back. So in 12th place, we have episode 6, The Snatch Game, which is Delta Work versus Mariah Balenciaga to Looking for a New Love by Jodie Watley. So Delta's doing a performance. There's nothing wrong with it, but it isn't particularly exciting, and then Mariah isn't fully confident on the words, and she seems more in her head about the words than she is, like, focused on performing. There's nothing tremendously bad about it, it's just unmemorable, dare I say. I completely forgot about this lip sync. The Snatch Game is good for season 3. There are some really good performances in the Snatch Game, but the actual lip sync I'd forgotten about and couldn't remember anything about it. And when it came to choosing the best part, because the two weren't really doing much, it was quite difficult. But I did enjoy the part where in the song it says, "How does it feel?" and Mariah pats Delta's boob. I guess that's quite amusing. But the rest of the lip sync I just can't really remember, I guess. That's why I put it so low in the list. Now, in 11th place, we have episode 3, Queens in Space, which is Delta Work versus Phoenix to Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. Now, this is only higher than the previous lip sync because both queens tried. Like, I know Mariah wasn't confident in it, but in this one, both the queens actually tried to do something, and Phoenix attempts to copy the dance moves Lady Gaga did in the music video, but it doesn't really work out in her favour. I think it's Shangela that says that's a man doing these dance moves or something. It's not very appealing, I guess. And then Delta takes a more theatrical approach to the song. Something I noticed with Delta is every time she lip syncs, she looks directly forwards and up, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But the best part of this is the bridge of the song where both the queens like strut down the runway to walk, walk, fashion baby. That bit is quite cool when they both do the same thing at the same time. I said in the last video, I love when queens do the same thing at the same time, and this was the best part of a very mediocre lip sync. In 10th place, we have episode 5, QNN News, which is India Ferrer versus Stacey Lane Matthews to Meeting in the Ladies' Room by Climax. So both queens serve like the sass of the song really well, putting up good performances, But I think this lip sync's better for storyline reasons, as the judges panel are concerned that Stacey wasn't showing them everything she has to offer. And she really needed this bottom 2 placement to, quote, light a fire under her ass, and went on to win the Snatch Game in the next episode. So it's kind of like she needed to be at this low to reach a really good high, which she did after playing Monique in the Snatch Game. And she was really, really, really good with that. And the best part of this one is when Stacey pulls out a small sponge on the line, best go powder your nose, and like pats her nose with it as if she's powdering her nose. I think that's quite inventive, and I don't know where that sponge comes from or where it goes, but it's there anyway. India's performance, she was fine. She did what she needed to do, but I think the camera was more focused on Stacey, probably because of the storyline reason that they needed to see more from her, and this performance allowed the judges panel to see that. In 9th place, we have episode 4, Totally Leotarded, which is India Farah versus Mimi I'm First to Don't Leave Me This Way by Thelma Houston. We all know this lip sync. We know it because of Mimi I'm First picking India up mid-lip sync and birthing the iconic line, "Drag is not a contact sport" from RuPaul. God, it's so messy, but the reason why it's so high up, it's in 9th place and not towards the back of the list, is that it's just so iconic. It's hilarious, and I mean, India gives quite a good performance. You know, she was doing what she needed to do, and started out the lip sync really, really strong. And I think Mimi thought she really needed to grasp for the judges' attention by picking up drag queens, if you will. But I don't know what goes through her mind. I mean, I know she does it at her shows, and she explains that at her shows she picks people up, and that's part of her shtick. But why would you do it on Drag Race? I don't know. I mean, it is so memorable, and I think everyone who has watched the show knows this lip sync for the reason of Mimi I'm First picking India up. I did feel for India though, because it gained so much traction for Mimi, everyone being like, oh, Mimi did the lifting, but I feel like before All Stars 5 aired, people forgot it was India Farah, which is, that sucks, because she's so talented, and she's clearly proving that so far on All Stars 5, so I don't know, you go girl. But the best part of this, other than the moment, is when India gathers herself and finishes up the song with 2 forward rolls, and just delivers on that last moment, like, I need to keep performing and be professional about this, which she does, and that's why she stays. In 8th place, we have episode 14, the grand finale, which is Raja versus Manila Luzon to Champion by RuPaul. Now, the top 2 queens aren't only both really strong competitors, but were best friends too. So this lip sync is really fun to watch because of the connections that they have with each other on the stage. They're both having a good time with each other, and they've come so far as well. And either one of those queens deserve to win. I mean, it sucks that Manila hasn't been able to claim a crown yet, which she really well deserves, but I think Raja did deserve to win season 3, as her fashion is insane. But even though both queens don't do much, their connections with each other kind of make up for it. And the best part here is when both queens point at each other on the line, "You're a champion," which I think is really cute, and it's like they both have their friendship with each other, and that's not going anywhere regardless of who wins the crown. In 7th place, we have episode 13, Make Dat Money, which is Yara Sofia versus Alexis Mateo to I Think About You by Patti LaBelle. This lip sync is so emotional because Yara and Alexis had become very close friends in the competition, and the reality hits in, especially for Yara, that one of them is going home. And the lip sync starts off fine, but then the weight of the competition kind of comes piling down on Yara, and she breaks down mid-song. Now, it is well known that season 3 was the most difficult season of Drag Race. They had, I think, 3 design challenges, and this was the 3rd, I'd like to say. I think, yeah, this was the 3rd one. And it just clearly was too much for Yara, and she was so frustrated in herself for being in the bottom. especially against Alexis, but it was great that they managed to come back for All Stars 1 and form a team together. Ja, Alexis, they did quite well. They did quite well in the competition, but we don't talk about All Stars 1. Alexis also stops lip-syncing to help Yara out, further highlighting their friendship, and that's like the part that I cried at, especially when Alexis tells Yara to stop crying, and it's just so sad. I cried at that lip-sync, and obviously the judges panel, I know LaToya Jackson was a guest judge for that episode, so I remember she was crying, she was bawling her eyes out, and the rest of the judges panel were. But the best part of this lip sync, other than, you know, the key moment of Yara breaking down, was when the two queens begin the song by performing the lyrics really quite well, showing that they are good performers and, most of all, good friends. Now, in 6th place, we have episode 11, RuPaul's Hair Extravaganza, which is Alexis Mateo versus Shangela to Even Angels by Fantasia Barrino. Both queens encompass the tonality of the song really well and give very emotional performances that leave the judges sobbing. It's a very different type of song that we've seen Shangela perform to, with her usually performing like high energy dance numbers. So for both these queens, it kind of shows more versatility and just how good performers they are. But the best part of this lip sync is when I guess Alexis really kind of encompasses the uplifting message of the song. Obviously, I'll play the specific moment, but she does that throughout, and it was hard to pick a specific moment because both queens did so well in that lip sync. In 5th place, we have episode 10, RuPaul-a-palooza. That's a tongue twister, geez. Which is Carmen Carrera versus Shangela to Believe by Cher. Now, Shangela, of course, delivers a high-energy dance number that really fits the dance track, death dropping and strutting like her life depends on it. And Carmen is moving as if she was at the club, like dancing to the track in her own way. It's not as high energy as maybe the song would kind of demand, I don't know, but she went home in this lip sync, and I think because Shangela outperformed her basically. But the best part is when Shangela like death drops at the end of the bridge and Michelle like audibly gasps in like worry for her because she hits that ground so hard. I'm like, how do you not hurt the back of your head? Oh my god, Shangela, teach me your ways. But this lip sync's like a lot of fun, it's fun to watch, and the camera's mostly on Shangela, who is like hitting dance move after dance move every beat of the song, and it's just so high energy and so fun. In 4th place, we have episode 7, Face, Face, Face of Cakes, which is Stacey Lane Matthews versus Alexis Mateo to Knock on Wood by Amy Stewart. Now, Stacey delivers a more like sassy approach to the song. I think that's kind of her vibe with her lip syncs. She goes for sass, and it works with this song. And it looks like she's having a really good time on that stage as well. And Alexis includes some dance moves that match the uplifting energy of the song. And overall, this lip sync is very entertaining and enjoyable, and it's a lot of fun to watch. It's quite memorable as well. I do like this lip sync. But the best part is when Alexis jumps in the air all like High School Musical style. I love that moment. And I don't know what it is about season 3, but they kind of tend to pick one queen over the other to film more, I guess, because you don't really see much of Stacey in this lip sync, but you see lots of Alexis. But that's probably why she won the lip sync, because she had like high energy dance moves, and Stacey kind of just delivered like face and words more so. Now in 3rd place, we have episode 9, Life, Liberty and the Pursuit of Style, which is Carmen Carrera versus Yara Sofia to Mickey by Tony Basil. Now this is the Spanish version of the song. I guess this lip sync was so good because no queen went home. This was the first double chantay in Drag Race history. And I get that because it is a very good lip sync. I mean, Carmen delivers a very impressive performance as she knows all of the Spanish lyrics perfectly. Like, she doesn't miss a single word. And Yara does a cute little costume reveal from that large white dress into a swimsuit with a Puerto Rican flag on it to represent her heritage, which I think is very cute. when Yara came out in that dress at first, I was like, yeah, I feel like there's a reveal under that. There's got to be some sort of like swimsuit under there because she likes to show body, does Yara. But the best part of this is when Carmen goes up to the judges panel and kisses Johnny Weir. She does not mess around. She just goes straight up there and smooches him. But this lip sync is a lot of fun. Both queens deliver really, really well, and that's probably why it was the double chantay. Both queens did really, really good performances. Now, in second place, we have episode 12, Jocks in Frocks, which is Raja versus Carmen Carrera to Straight Up by Paula Abdul. This lip sync is so hot. Like, I think Alexis Mateo referred to it as soft porn, which is very accurate indeed. Raja and Carmen, both of which, being very good friends, have a strong connection with each other, making this lip sync all the more entertaining. There's a lot of nudity. Carmen just takes all of her clothes off, and Raja's in her underwear. But the best part of this lip sync is when Raja kisses Carmen's shoulder and it leaves a little lipstick mark on there. It's quite amusing, but I do like the energy that the two queens have with each other. And they both look like they had a really good time with it as well. It's just such a memorable lip sync for those reasons, I guess. Now I'm just going to take this moment to remind you to check out the links to my social media in the description. As always, I leave my Twitter and my Instagram down there. If you want to give me a little follow, that's how I remind people that I'm about to upload a video. So if you don't want to miss out on anything, go and follow me down there. Also, please leave a subscribe if you haven't already. It means more to me. It shows me who's watching. I mean, I get significantly more views than I do subscribers. So if you've forgotten or if you haven't realised and you're enjoying my material, please subscribe to my channel because it really helps me out, and leave a like if you're feeling nice. Now, let's move on to the first spot. In first place, we have episode 8, Ruhaha, which is Delta Work versus Manila Luzon to MacArthur Park by Donna Summer. This performance gives me chills every time I see it. It is one of the best lip syncs in Drag Race history. It's just such a high drag Broadway level that really proves how talented these two queens are. I mean, Delta uses her little prop to like demonstrate the lyrics of the song, and Manila shows true passion by smearing her makeup and pulling classic Manila heightened expressions like we've never seen before. And also, every time I watch this lip sync, I have to remind myself that Delta is actually not a woman. She looks so beautiful. Like, forget what she's wearing, but like her hair and makeup is so beautiful, and Manila looks fantastic in that Big Bird dress, that iconic yellow moment that I absolutely adore. And the best part of this lip sync is the end of the first verse when Manila switches like that from a sad, dramatic expression to a theatrical scream. Oh, it is so good. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and agreed to some extent with my rankings on season 3. Next up will be season 4, obviously one of my favourite seasons. Also, I'm thinking after season 4, I'm going to do All Stars 1 because it's more chronological. I was considering at first doing all of the main seasons, then UK, and then All Stars, but I'm thinking rather I should do them in chronological order. Let me know what you think. If you'd rather see season 5 straight afterwards, or you want to see All Stars 1, please let me know. And that's it. That's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember to wash your hands and tell your family you love them. Bye-bye.